Anytime there is a weigh-in for Ebony Bridges' fights, it's always a sight to be seen. Not just for witnessing the champion disrobe to step on the scales, but she makes certain that she entices an audience and turns heads left and right. And this Saturday, December 9th, was no different on the undercard of Haney versus Prograis. But the fight turned out to be far more of an eye-catcher than even Ebony would have expected to present. Let's talk about what happened in this fight that saw the bantamweight champion lose her title. The IBF Bantamweight title was on the line this past Saturday, December 9th, in the opening bout for the pay-per-view broadcast of Haney versus Prograis. Ebony Bridges would defend her title against Mayo Yoshida. Yoshida came into this bout as a late replacement, and she only had just a few weeks to prepare, literally under 3 weeks. And I have to tell you, the fight turned out to be far more entertaining than anyone could have hoped or even guessed. Now, Yoshida is a fighter that is a former 2-time world champion. However, on this night, Bridges, who entered the bout the champion, would come in with her bruising, brawling type style and try to present herself in a physical manner against Yoshida that would basically go typically like the rest of her fights. But that was not to be. This was a fight where Yoshida, who happens to be a bit older at 30, she happens to be a bit younger, at 35 to Bridges 37. But I don't know if it was the timing, because she had just fought on November 7th. But Bridges, who hadn't fought since December of 2022, against Shannon O'Connell, a TKO victory, but she had had an injury and had a long layoff. And as I said, Yoshida was a last moment replacement. But in this fight, Yoshida was able to come into this bout and really provide some action, the kind of action that no one expected. She came out utilizing boxing skills, and she began to early catch Ebony on the edges of her punches from a distance And even in close, she was throwing right hands and left hooks to Ebony's chin that she just simply couldn't stop. And so now Bridges is coming in here with her record now 17-4. Excuse me, that was Yoshida's record, 17-4 with 0 KOs. But Bridges, who brought her record of 9-2 with 4 KOs, was suddenly looking at herself being down on the cards. And the more that she tried to apply the pressure, the more Yoshida looked to counter. And I'm talking about not counter with a plan, but counter with her shots. When she allowed herself the proper range and distance, she was able to catch Ebony at the end of the punches. Straight shots, straight down the middle, then hooking and looping right hands. And above it all, there was one point where she was able to catch Ebony very clean. I mean, Yoshida was dominating the bout to the degree that Bridges didn't win a round. That's hard to do, being a world champion and a challenger on short notice. But in this fight, the pedigree, the championship pedigree of Yoshida proved tried and true. She did some things in this fight that a 7-1 underdog wouldn't be expected. This was her second fight in less than a month, and she had been 2-3 in her last 5 fights. She completely shut out Ebony Bridges. I mean, it was a masterful performance. As the night showed us a great deal, these fighters showed us a great deal as well. And the championship pedigree of Yoshida cannot be denied. Now, Bridges, on the other hand, was very tough and rugged, as she has always been. She wouldn't give up. She landed the cleaner shots, Yoshida did, and Bridges would try to hang in there, trying to smother her, trying to get off, trying to be the physical infighter. But it proved to be of no avail, because Yoshida knew exactly how to handle her. It was the type of fight that, if you like good boxing, both women delivered, because styles make fights, and that's where the action was here. The two of them gave us contrasting styles. But it's a shame that Ebony wasn't really prepared to deal with this Japanese woman's fighting, boxing technique. It just goes to show that if you do not hone your skills, if you try to operate without a jab, those limitations could find you suffering on the end of things, as Bridges, who hails from Australia, did. She's 37 years of age now, and it's no telling how much longer she would want to fight, or if there's even a chance at a rematch, because the New York residing Yoshida is now in demand, and Hearn likes to give his fighters the opportunity at rematches. So you could probably look for sometime in early 2024, these two may face each other again, possibly on an undercard for another big fight with Matchroom. But I know one thing: the happiness displayed by Yoshida after winning this bout could not be denied. The woman was clearly astonished and emotional with the announcement of her unanimous decision. Bridges congratulated her professionally, as she should have. But what makes the story even greater was the look on the face of Yoshida's daughter, who was ringside and actually entered the ring to celebrate with her mom. That was a very touching moment. Women's boxing is outstanding, and 2023 has delivered big time. And I can't wait to see what 2024 has in store. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think should be next for Mia Yoshida. And should Ebony Bridges seek an immediate rematch, or should she go and allow herself to get a win under her belt before coming back? It'll be very interesting, but let's see what happens. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.